features that y'all will have in your new development?
So yeah, we've kind of been running in stealth on this for a while. So, I know there's been a few news reports and a few articles written about it, but Essex and its Essex Modern City, and the reason we're calling it Essex Modern City is really, an ode to San Antonio being nearly a 300-year-old Spanish colonial city or a town, and we believe that what is now modern is just a play on something that's been a tradition for a really long time. Most of Europe was designed not for the car, it was built on the person. And so most cities in Europe were designed that way. And so we're taking that modern city and that walkability and that smart growth and that human scale and plugging it into this project. So it's a mixed use project, ground floor retail, a lot of different things. We're putting, a lot of things into that bag. It's gonna have some live workspace, some creative, artist lofts as far as for some of the affordable component. Some of the things that we're trying to curate in that design is, we're looking at bringing on a metal fabricator that will work for us, full-time staff that will fabricate all the benches and lights and the other things, so that we're not picking it out of a book and just sticking it up on the wall. Is that this is going to be something that we're really spending a lot of time with our teams as far as developing. And with that also, in that design is, there's going to be multiple architects and designers working on this. When you think of Europe and that culture, and even Mexico City, and there's a big divergence in the design of a facade because it's something that's evolved over a couple thousand years or several hundred years. And so, you might see something in buildings that are touching each other, from a Baroque to a neoclassical to, a lot of different things. And so we want to take that into account and put that into our facade, as so that, there might be an architect that he has that 50 feet. That's his portion and his baby and to his concept. And we want it outside of the individual architectural firm because, I love the Pearl, but there is still some homogenistic feel to the way the rental components are built. Some of that's, he was pioneering and needed those costs to achieve that.
Singular vision.
Yeah, exactly. And so, that's what we're really looking at for Essex at East Point. And we think it's something that can be a lead domino for that portion of town, from that, Essex all the way up into Dignowity. I don't know, I keep saying it incorrectly, but from that to the Alamo Dome and that near east side.
Well, I have some questions about your project. Sure. The metal fabricator, will you all have him, will he be in a position that people coming to tour the project can actually see him working artisanally?
We want to do that. So we don't know if it's going to be on site. Maybe initially it'll be on site because the project's a little over 8 acres right now. We're cleaning that up. We're going to start working on cleaning that up. As far as, so there's open warehouse space, and we want people to add that, and that's where the live work and that kind of artist space is, that we feel, as far as some of that's missing here in San Antonio, is that somebody can, with those artist lofts, that affordable component is, someone can see them do their art studio and paint and, spin a kiln and make pottery or fabricate. And so, and maybe that's just across the street, off-site, as it kind of develops and takes on its own life. But that's something that we think, or at least we're trying to incorporate into that project.
So that people could perhaps experience the process of development as they're seeing it as a potential future home site or working environment.
Exactly.
Efren,